Welcome to Constant Smiles.
All right, everybody. So this was kind of it was almost like an impromptu because we were going to do the podcast at the Black Tie event tonight. But he didn't.
Kind of like how you do everything, though. Impromptu.
Right. And he didn't catch the memo, so
So I just got in. We our flight was at 4 this morning, and we just got in from South Carolina.
Yeah. So we basically the Smiles of Tea crew picked him up with those big old Smiles of Tea signs. How was that, by the way?
It was awesome. We got first class treatment right on the VIP party bus. It was a good time coming over.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, we put leis over their head, and we get on a bus full of music. And who was the DJ? Who was playing the music?
Matt Steele with Smile Source.
Okay, so Matt was playing the music.
He was keeping it going.
Was it good music or no?
He mixed it up a little bit, but most of it was good.
Okay, so for some of you, you may not know, me and Rich are crazy about music. So Constant Smiles, our logo even has some music in it, right? So the way that we interview our guests on Constant Smiles, the way that we get to know our guests first, is we basically ask them for their favorite song of all time, and then we ask them what are they listening to on their song right now, like what's their favorite song right now, and we play those music videos in the podcast. That's the first thing that we do to get to know someone. And so we have this huge idea of what we want Constant Smiles to be, and I think it's best that we're like extremely authentic about this creation of ours that we're going to create and tell everybody the journey, starting with like podcast subscriber 0 and YouTube subscriber 0, right? We're starting this from scratch and want you all to be a part of our journey. So, Rich, you want to tell them a little bit about the podcast, and I'll dive into who we went on there and all that stuff?
Yeah, so I think Elijah and I, we've always been inspired by the success of others, and that we set goals for each other constantly and try to reach those goals. And I think we try to surround ourselves with people like that who are forward-thinking and continuing to want to grow all the time. And as I continue to meet more people, I noticed that there's different types of successful people. There are the type of successful people that constantly live in chaos. They're stressed out all the time because they're always focused on the next future thing, what potentially could go wrong, or past decisions that may be regretful. And then there's the type of people that are successful that they're just happy where they are, but they know that their hard work's going to pay off, and they enjoy the journey. They enjoy the lessons that they're learning, what they learn from their mistakes, when they overcome those mistakes, a chance to grow, new opportunities to learn. And we want to kind of dive into with some of these guests on what are some of the practices that they use to live in the now and to stay in that moment, to stay focused and happy and smiling.
Just keep smiling, right? So for those listening right now, go ahead and put the hashtag just keep smiling. So that's Rich's hashtag, and we're super excited to start this thing. So another thing that whenever I first met Rich, we had a lot of things that we were helping one another with, but I said, your number one thing that I need you to help me with, Rich, is what?
Keep me accountable.
Keep me accountable for losing...
almost 60 pounds now, right?
Yes. So since I've met Rich, I told him, I said, I need one thing from you. I said, I need you to keep me accountable to this weight loss journey. And I said, I'm also not going to get on this boat by the pool and have you make me look silly with your big ass, right? It's not going to happen. So I had to take myself to the gym and get in shape. And so I get to go ahead.
Some tough love.
Tough love. And he's a jokester too, by the way. So this is not going to be just a regular, first off, this is a podcast, a video podcast that's not just for dental professionals. It's for everyone, right? And so me and Rich have this kind of like brotherly love where we really are roasting on each other all the time. Like constant jokes, kind of like how his shirt's a little too small right now.
Or how you didn't start your weight loss journey until you finished your hair loss journey.
See what I'm saying? he prepared these on the way over here. So, see, I freestyle my jokes. He prepares his. He writes them down.
That was off the cuff, man. That was off the cuff.
So, anyways, we like to have fun. It's all in love, but he's really been a big help in holding me accountable to losing this weight. I've been trying for 5 years. Yo-yo diet, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, back down. Now I'm up to 307 pounds, walking into this guy's office looking like Boo Boo the Fool. And I'm Dr. Constantine.
Hey, we got to bring up the picture. We got to bring up the picture at some point.
What picture?
The picture that Stephanie took.
Oh, my goodness.
Stephanie should have signed a waiver before she took this picture because the bottom button on his jacket was about to go. She should have put some safety glasses on before she took that pic.
It was a pretty serious before picture. It was actually here at Dentistry's Got Talent, and I was in the back. We have these amazing girls. They're called the SRP girls, or the SRP people, shoulder rub people. And I was getting my shoulder rub in between the classes, and I was just relaxed. And Stephanie must have caught me at a really vulnerable moment where my belly was popped all the way out looking crazy, and the seam was about to pop off of my butt. Anyway, so Rich was talking about that picture. I'm sure that we can put it in the comments below if you guys want to roast me like Rich. But anyways, the good news is now this is the day before we get on the cruise. And I don't know, I think I'm there. I've been a little bit sweating all day in this hot suit. Can somebody get me a little rag or something, by the way? I've been sweating in this hot suit. So I think that I'm at the 249 from 307. And so Rich is a lot, he talks a lot about lifestyle and happiness and all that stuff. And I'm going to share a vulnerable moment, with our guests is, I was extremely happy in a couple of areas in my life. I define success from 3 different things: family, financial or business, and health. And I was so happy from business. Business was well. Family was so well. And I'm a really happy person all the time. That's not like I'm a bubbly person that goes back at home and is depressed. I'm just really happy. And I looked in the mirror all the time, and I would crack jokes like, man, you need to get it together. But I never took it serious. I was always so happy. And so with your accountability and the accountability of others, I dropped this weight and got down to where I'm at 249 from 307, and I didn't realize I could be this happy, right? And it's a whole new level. I didn't realize that I was making excuses, and the other areas of life was essentially covering up what the real issue was. And if I want to be around for my family long term, I had to take care of me. So I appreciate you on the accountability for sure.
Give me a hand.
So it's going to be a fun journey with us. We have so many ideas for Constant Smiles. A lot of the things that we're doing outside of just the podcast and interviewing people, just going to give you a rundown of the different things. The first thing I want to talk about is Rich's purpose and his mission with Smile on Cancer. I'm going to let him go ahead and share what Smile on Cancer is, and then I'm going to share how we're going to incorporate it into the podcast.
So it's quite a long story, but I'll try to shorten it up a little bit. My wife, Trish, she lost her mom to ovarian cancer, and I lost my father to Burkitt cell lymphoma within the same year. And it was the first year that we had moved down to South Carolina from Pennsylvania, West Virginia, where we're up that way. And so it was very difficult. There was a lot of trips back and forth where our parents were getting treated. And that whole time, our parents kept a positive attitude. We had talks. We were both very fortunate enough to be able to have held their hands while they took their last breath, which was something that was very, very special to us. And so we always knew that we wanted to do something to give back to the community and patients going through this journey, and not only the patients but their families, because it really is a whole team effort when someone is battling that disease. And when the whole viral video thing took off, it was a wake-up call where we recognized that let's just not focus on the silly part of this. Let's really try to do something good with it. So we took that attention and we formed the foundation that we call Smile on Cancer. And to this point, donations that we've received and contributions, we've put that towards creating care packages for patients in therapy, as well as their families. And we've also donated to some local events. But the big picture, what we'd really like to do is to be able to raise money periodically, probably start by just doing it once a year. But through the podcast and continuing to promote the foundation, we hope to raise money to provide an experience for someone. So much in the same way that Make-A-Wish does, we would like to give somebody going through their treatment the opportunity to meet someone or go to an event or experience something that they've always wanted to. And we're really looking forward to see where that goes.
Absolutely. So how that gets involved with the podcast? If you could just imagine, a child that's possibly diagnosed with a terminally ill from cancer, or an adult, regardless, and they have something that they want to accomplish that's big time they would never accomplish, and maybe it's going to Europe, or maybe it's going and meeting Garth Brooks. And there's this little girl that never would have met Garth Brooks, and now she's front stage and gets to meet Garth Brooks behind in the green room, behind stage. Maybe she gets to go on the tour bus and have that experience. Or maybe this person just wants to meet a certain celebrity. Well, we're going to arrange that and make that happen. And what's really cool is we're going to get video footage of all of it, whether they're traveling, whether they're going to a concert, whether they're meeting a celebrity. We're going to cut that footage, and we're going to put it into a snippet, like a 1-minute snippet, in Constant Smiles, right? So we're going to start off by interviewing somebody through music. We're going to put a snippet of this journey, okay? So people are following the journey. And then with that, I'm going to be having a videographer follow me around as well. So my big mission, my big why, many of you know I'm a motivational speaker for kids. My passion, my why is kids, changing kids' lives. And so I've been speaking as a motivational speaker since 15 years old to the youth, to high schools. And essentially, whenever I go into a school, and the feeling that I get after I'm done and I get off stage, and I have the kids coming up and giving me these hugs that won't end, right? This the hug that you get when somebody holds you so tight they don't let go. Those are the hugs that mean the world to me. And those are the feelings that complete me. And this is the reason why I wanted to make it bigger. So how do I get more of those hugs? How do I get more days where I have kids crying on my shoulder because I made an impact, because I was touching their soul? How do I do that on a bigger level? So the idea is to create motivational concerts. I don't want to just speak to one high school anymore at a time. I want to speak to 10 to 20 high schools in big football stadiums. So if you can envision this, envision a football stadium packed with 10 to 20 high schools. And what happens is that the high schoolers, not only are they coming, but they have their parents that are coming too, because I'm going to tell you, parents need to hear a lot of these speeches as well, the motivational speeches. The parents need to hear it as well as the kids. So what happens is all of a sudden, the music starts. For those of you who've heard me speak, I'm huge for walk-on music. It's kind of my thing. And I'm actually in training right now to be a DJ Smiles. And the music starts. So I'm going to walk onto the football field. There's a stage in the middle of the football field. And I'm going to go onto the stage, and there's a mix table set up on the stage. And I'm going to play a 15-minute set, and I'm going to pump everybody in that stadium up.
Better be good. You better be good.
And after that happens, I'm going to introduce the first motivational speaker to the stage. They'll tell their message for 30 to 45 minutes. I'll introduce the second motivational speaker to the stage with a walk-on song, and they'll give their message for 30 to 45 minutes. And then I will share my message. After that, I'll end it with music. Here's the most important thing. there's somebody in the audience that I'm always speaking directly to. I never know who it is, but I know I'm going to change one life. But my message is not for everyone. That's extremely important, and I understand that. So I'm creating a platform for not just me, but for many motivational speakers across the world to share their message with these kids. So I've essentially teamed up with many very high-level motivational speakers, and I'm still recruiting for them to tour the world with me as I go on these motivational concerts. And so I'm learning to be a DJ. If I'm not good, Rich is going to roast me, I'm sure, here. You guys will get to be a part of that entire process. And I think Rich says he's actually going to go to learn to be a DJ too. Is that right?
I have to now.
See? And so what's going to happen with that is we're going to make a huge impact. We're going to change so many kids' lives. And it's the platform for people to share the messages to impact the kids, because the kids need us so bad right now. They need us so bad. They're our future. And so we're going to have a videographer filming all of that. We're going to take little minute snippets, and we're going to put it into the podcast. Now, to the podcast. During the podcast, we're going to be interviewing people eventually, okay? At first, it's just going to be Rich and I having fun, talking about how we got shut down from, Puff Daddy, who we reached out to, and Diddy's like, you got to give me a milli. I'm not coming on your podcast, right? But here's the really cool thing is Rich's inbox still to this day gets blown up with hundreds of messages from people. I know it because I'm on his Facebook account. He's like, I'm getting out of here. He didn't even have it on his phone. I do. So I see literally there's hundreds of messages. Everybody is trying to reach out and get Rich to be involved with stuff, kind of like he was on Steve Harvey's, on the Today Show. I believe that somebody reached out to be on their reality TV show. What was his name?
It was LeBron show.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
LeBron James. Yeah. So there's all these really high level people reaching out like crazy to talk with Rich. So I'm like, well, Rich, you know how easy it's going to be to just send him a message back and say, sorry, I was annihilated with.
I don't agree.
I was messaged with so many people. It's going to be easy to message them back and say, come on the podcast and let's interview you and let's talk more. It's not going to be that difficult to reach out to people when you have a cause and a purpose.
There's two people that think I have a continued relationship with Steve Harvey, Elijah and my grandmother.
So we basically are going to reach out to celebrities, and we're going to interview them. We're going to start off the interview by getting to know them from their music, and then we're going to ask them lifestyle questions. And you know what? We're going to make it fun and throw in some regular fun dental questions as well.
Yeah, and I think also, just to back up a little bit, Elijah is such a great motivational speaker and such a great motivation for people who want to be entrepreneurs. The motivation is a great start, but you need to have a program in place to sustain that motivation. And what I hope to do through the podcast is to interest people by hearing all these success stories from these people and the daily practices they use to stay performing at a high level, to teach people that, once you have that motivation, it's about keeping this healthy, this healthy, this healthy. You have to take care of yourself in order to give all that you can to others. And you really have to, you must create a daily routine to where you're doing something to take care of your mind, something to take care of your body, something to take care of your heart. I think all those things play a huge role in being able to be your best.
Absolutely. And so, Rich, should we bust out our bucket list of who we want to interview?
Yeah, we can list a few.
We're going to list a few. So here's the thing, you all. We're going to be very transparent through this entire video podcast. So you all might hear from me and Rich, maybe 3 episodes, maybe 10. We don't know. But we have a list of people that we want to interview, and we're going to reach out. And we're going to reach out with our purpose and our mission. And we hope that eventually we catch fire and we get a lot of people on here. But I think it's so important. People don't just want to see the victory. They don't want to just see the victory. People want to know the journey. and they want to know when you fall on your face, and they want you to be real. So we're going to be real with you all, and we're going to tell you all about the journey. We're going to share it with you. We're going to be authentic. We're going to be our true selves. And I think that that's very important to share your journey because this podcast and videocast is starting at 0, and we're going to see how quick it can catch traction. Let's go ahead and share some names.
So number one is on both of our lists.
Both of our lists.
I think is Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock. Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson. So listen, everyone, right now, if you're watching, it could help us a lot. Whether you're watching this on Facebook or if you're watching this from an Instagram feed, because we're going to be on all channels. If you're watching this on YouTube, the ultimate place will be YouTube, but tag The Rock. No joke. Tag Dwayne Johnson and say, we want you on this video podcast. Because if enough people tag the right person, they'll be on there. But here's really cool. Dwayne, if you're watching this, buddy, I don't know if you remember.
Buddy.
In 2011, 2012, you came to Hawaii for 2 months to film a video. And you happened to spot me on the bench a couple times in the gym. I remember you. You might not remember me, but you were super cool. Here's the thing. Here's what I really like. People can be as successful as they want. It doesn't matter if you're a jerk, right?
Or if you're miserable.
Or if you're miserable, yes. It doesn't matter how much success you have. If you're a total miserable jerk, it doesn't matter. And he was one of the nicest people that was all the way up that I've ever met, really. And to be honest with you, Rich, I haven't told you this, but before now, I thought Rich, his head was going to be blown up through the clouds too, because he's got 100 million views on his video and this and that, and good-looking guy. He's got girls going nuts over him. I'm like, this guy's going to have his hair in the head. Rich is one of the most humble people that you will ever meet. Heart of gold, hilarious, down-to-earth guy dentists that happened to catch some luck and have some decent dance moves. But it was one of the things that connected me with him immediately, because who cares how much fame you have? Who cares how much success you have? At the end, we're all the same. We all use the restroom. We're all going to end up the same, right? And so Dwayne Johnson actually, no joke, was a regular guy to me when we had met in Hawaii. So anyways, I would love to, both of us, that's our number one prospect. It might take us a little bit, but man, I got these lofty goals. A lot of you know that. We're going to get them on there.
And when I first met Elijah, of course the viral video came up, but we got to talking and he said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I really don't like that live dancing that much. That video that went viral, not too many people know that it was shot in my office with me just there. Like, I had waited till everyone left and set my camera up so no one would see me. And then all these people see me. And then people are like, you got to keep dancing. You got to keep dancing. And now when I go places, they're like, hey, you going to give me a dance? And it's all in good fun. I love all that. But I was like, Elijah, I want to keep it going, but I don't know if I want to keep dancing, man. Can we do something else? And he was like, yeah, we'll do something else. Yeah. You don't have to dance unless you want to.
Yeah, exactly. So, and imagine if, imagine you're in Rich's shoes and everybody's coming up to you like you're a robot. Can you dance? Show me a dance. Let's take a picture. Show me your dance. Let's take a picture. You want to karate chop everybody in the throat.
No, seriously though, the pictures I love because I get to meet people and take a picture with somebody smiling and spread that out. But
let's be honest. Yeah. How often per day in a dental event are you asked to dance?
I get it at the pump at the gas station, dude.
Right? It's too much. So dancing is off limits. By the way, how are we on time? How long? Okay, good. So
she made that up.
So anyways, we're gonna have fun. It's gonna involve music, but this man.
Let's just a couple more people. Okay,
a couple more people. Can I have my list?
Yeah.
Let me get
So
my-
some of my people, I do want to also.
I don't have your
It's
password.
it's important to me to interview people in our profession as
dentistry,
well in dentistry. People like Gordon and Rella Christensen, I think they're super inspirational. Frank Spear, I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with him. And then a couple other people on my list were. Do we have any Steeler fans in here? No.
Cricket. How about online?
All right.
Online.
So Hines Ward is one of my all-time favorite Steeler players, and there are actually photos of him diving into the end zone while smiling. He was just always happy, and I'd love to get him on the podcast.
That's awesome. And so for me, and like I said, this is for dental professionals and everyone else. But I think we talked about possibly doing like once a quarter a dental only, talking about all the things you use. By the way, Rich's practice has grown tremendously. We're talking about now doing the upstairs of your practice. I mean, he's having insane success in his practice. I'm sure you were already doing well, but the video had to help a little bit.
It did, yeah.
And he's having insane success in his practice. So we're going to talk maybe once a quarter about the successes in Rich's practice as well. But for the most part, it's going to be general for the regular, for everyone to watch. So let me go ahead and tell you, here's my list. So I have DJ Khaled, Dwayne Johnson, Lil Nas X, and that was my walk-on song for the Smile Source show, by the way. Cardi B.
We're going to need a translator for Cardi B.
Oh, you just ruined all chances of Cardi B. She's definitely not coming on now. Cardi B, sorry about that. I apologize. See, what happened was LL Cool J, Omarion, Eminem. Let's get to the dental. Dr. Rubenstein, New York. He's got all the celebs in his office, and he got dance moves, and I think he actually likes to dance. What do you think, Rich?
Good for him.
There's another one we can check off our list. Howard Ferran. I love his bluntness, and him. He's an amazing human. And hey, I'm not political at all, but I want to interview Obama. I'm just saying, I want to interview Obama, and that's a goal of mine. Now, I had somebody up here. I erased them because I thought I might have been shooting too high. I'm going to say it. I want to interview MJ, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that would be good.
So there's a list.
If I could be like Mike, you
like Mike?
If I like Mike.
Oh,
If I could be like Mike.
Anybody ever see that movie? The Mike movie?
Space Jams.
I haven't.
Are we that old?
I don't know. I think we're out of time. Here's the thing: we're gonna get a lot of fun over the next a lot of years with the video podcast. We just want you guys to join. If you could please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Find us. Subscribe to our channel. Help spread the word. And anybody that you want to have on our video podcast, please tag them in the comments section. We'd love to have them on board.
Just keep smiling.
Just keep smiling. All right, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to Constant Smiles.